Hey guys, Kevin here, and right now I'm extremely excited to do this review. Actually, it's on the Aladdin Pro, and it's made by Vamped. Now, this little device here, it says that it's the best open stick pod in Malaysia in 2020. Okay, and that's actually where this device has really gained most of its popularity. It's made by a company called Vamped. It does say that it's made in China. Um, it is a 550 milliamp hour battery with a 2 milliliter juice capacity. It has Type-C charging. It is pass-through, so you can plug it in and vape from it while it's charging. It has a variable voltage of 3.5, 3.6, and 3.7. And it suggests that it's a smart adjustable voltage. So there's a chip that essentially reads the airflow or the resistance or whatever. It doesn't really explain it, okay? The manual isn't very detailed. I'll show it to you in a minute. But essentially, it's supposed to intelligently decide whether or not to deliver low, medium, or high power. And I can't really tell if there's much of a difference in it, but one thing that I can tell you is that this device is a winner. It came on my radar because I saw it just sitting one day at Dash Vapes, and I was like, wow, that's kind of expensive for a knockoff Caliburn, right? I think I had even looked up Caliburn on Dash Vapes, and this thing popped up. I mean, like the pods, I think were 18 bucks for 4 of them, and that's kind of a lot, especially when you're thinking like, man, that is expensive. You would expect to find a Caliburn knockoff for 15 bucks and have like $5 or $10 boxes of coils or whatever, but I can tell you guys right now, this is not a Caliburn knockoff. In fact, before the Caliburn G came out, this was gaining steam in Malaysia, and it has some of the same technology that the Caliburn G has, in a sense that it does have a Type-C charging port, and that it has an adjustable airflow, and it came out before the Caliburn G. It's not a completely new idea. There have been some other pod devices that have had the adjustable airflow by flipping the pod, but they totally nailed it. If you take the red stopper on the pod and you line it up with the top of the Aladdin Pro, right? So the top of the letters here, all right? Stopper lined up at the top of the letters. You're gonna get a direct lung hit, okay? Now, I'm going to try and direct lung this as best as I can. I know that I can't. It is a restricted direct lung hit, but I'm gonna try and show you guys very specifically with this draw just how far it goes, okay? Very, very good airflow. So it was right there, right? Very, very, I mean, great restricted direct lung hit. I mean, if you cared, you could count the seconds on the video and all that. But great. Now, I don't know that I'm gonna get full power when I'm actually pressing the like the full 3.7 when I'm pressing the button, but I'm gonna try that as well. Okay. Maybe lasted a little longer. Okay. Ah, looks like there's a cutoff. I know there is an 8-second cutoff. Okay. Let's try it again. Really, really, really good. Yeah, I mean, you can't beat that. There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that restricted direct lung hit. With 50 milligram Beautiful Disaster, 50/50 PG. I love this, like this juice made by Transistor. Now, we're gonna ramp things up and we're gonna go to the mouth to lung hit. One potential con for this device is just because of the, I don't know if it's, I feel like it's because there's like a little bit of a lip, or like if I show you the device, you see at the total edges there, that little straight lip that's on there, that kind of gets in the way when you're trying to place the pod into the device. Not a deal breaker, not even all that crazy annoying, but let's say you're in the car and you want to switch it around or whatever, you might have to fumble a little bit, and that could be distracting. I don't know. It's just me trying to think of, you know, something, you know, to say that's bad about the device, okay? But now I'm going to take that rubber stopper and I'm going to align it with the bottom letters, okay, the bottom of the letters here. We're going to go to the mouth to lung. Ready? Vape that all day long. Guys, you need this device. You really do. There's no reason not to pick it up. There really isn't. I mean, the specs, they're very similar to the original Caliburn. You've got 550 milliamp hour battery, very similar. The 2 milliliter juice capacity, fire button, draw activated, very similar in size, also in weight. It's very thin on the interior. The actual pod and the mouthpiece here is more comfortable than the Caliburn and the Caliburn G. I think I really like the way this sits. Okay, the mouth to lung on this device is stellar. Maybe a little tighter than the Caliburn G. Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit tighter, a little bit more cigarette-like, but you know, the big thing is like your lips are closer to the, you know, to the hole in the mouthpiece, than with the Caliburn G. Overall, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm struggling. Like I said, the main con that I would say is going to be the fact that that little lip, you know, you can't just in your you know, like when you're in the middle of something, just easily fumble around with it and probably change the airflow, but who knows, you might not even do that. But I'm gonna go mouth to lung with full power. I think full power, okay? That's a little bit looser, but it's really nice. So as you see, as I'm stepping away, right, the vapor production, okay? It's there. I mean, it's good. It's still, there's something about that Caliburn G. It's like the depth or the density of the vapor, you know, that I really, really like. That maybe reminds me a little bit more of a cigarette than any of the other pod devices that are out there. Um, but really, I mean, when it comes down to flavor, the Caliburn G is probably edges out this device a little bit more, but it's a 13 watt device instead of an 18 watt device. And I think ultimately with the 1 ohm resistance, it's probably a better choice than going with an 18 watt device at zero point 0.8 ohms. There's a lot of people on YouTube that have been suggesting that the 18 watt Caliburn G and the coils are actually burning their mouths. I have had nothing like that happen. It's a warmer vape, but you know, definitely nowhere close to burning or no spitting, anything like that. I have burnt my mouth before. But yeah, I mean, I believe those reviewers and I believe those commenters, you know, when they tell me that they've had that problem. So I don't know if there's just inconsistency with UL's manufacturing on the Caliburn Gs where, you know, I was lucky and you know, it's a device that can literally keep me from my sub-ohm tanks and all my other devices that I bought before it, right? But you know, like there are like the occasional burnt hits and stuff like that. I haven't had that since I changed my coils last time. But you know, it's definitely a device that you know, maybe isn't quite perfect. I am hopeful about the Coco Prime. I was actually contacted by Cloudmix, and you know, they offered to send me a sample when I was asking about the 1 ohm coils. Just, hey, like they had them listed on their website, and didn't look like they were pre-orders at first, but they ended up being pre-orders. So I asked, I was like, you know, when are you gonna get these in? You know, I'm really excited about them. And you know, they told me you know, that it would be a couple weeks before they get those in. And you know, ultimately, like they contacted me back saying that you know, like they looked at my profile and they saw my YouTube channel and you know, offered to send me samples. So hopefully I'll get those in. But with that said, guys, this Aladdin Pro, it's a winner. Buy it. Pros are pretty much everything about it. Comparable in flavor, production, vapor production, the actual hit that you get from a Caliburn G. The only con is probably that little lip here when it comes to adjusting the airflow. But another pro is that it's lighter than the Caliburn G. I like the way it feels in my hands a little bit better. Con being that kind of garish design here with Aladdin Pro. It looks cheap. You see some of the other options that they have. There's like a Bruce Lee one, a Loki from the Avengers, a Joker. You know, some of you guys might like them. To me, it's a little too flashy and a little just whatever. But yeah, I mean, and then the biggest con is just they're not all that available here in the U.S. So, you know, I have no idea how long these coils are going to last. You know, they feel very similar to Caliburn and Coco coils and whatnot. So I'm hoping they have that kind of same lifespan. But, you know, I'll definitely be updating this one probably on a weekly basis too. All right, guys, please like, subscribe, comment. I've been enjoying all of those things, and it really kind of motivates me to come in, and there goes my cat destroying things, to just come in and spend 200 bucks on devices just to show you guys, and you know, and it's helping me find cool devices too, and definitely to stay away from smoking. All right, guys, with that said, thank you very much, and you know, please like and subscribe, comment. Thanks.